everyone. Hello and happy Monday and welcome to our Monday's Q&A. Now listen, I asked you in my stories, what did you want us to talk about today? And many of you shared with me your concern around building a portfolio. So hey friend, welcome to today's live. If this is your first time catching me live, drop a 1 and tell me where you are joining me from. If this is not your first time, if you're not new to this, but you are true to this, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat and tell me where you are watching me from. And if you're catching this on the replay, whether on IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just comment replay and let me know that you were here. I'm looking forward to breaking this down with y'all today. So today we're going to talk about one of the comments that I've gotten, or one of the polls that we did in my stories. So hey Virginia, hey South Africa, hey Bristol, hey Alabama, how y'all doing? What up Chicago? All right. I see folks from over the pond. I see Manchester, Egypt is in the house. Okay. So if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Susana Briscoe-Alba. I am the lead career strategist at Dunamis Coaching and Consulting Services, where we teach you how to land 6-figure roles through leadership development and career strategy. Welcome. I am originally from New York City. That is where I am based. I am based out of New York. And so today I'm looking forward to connecting with y'all. One of y'all said I'm a 1.5. I'm not sure what a 1.5 is, but hey, listen, I'll take it. If you are not new to this, if you've been on a live before, can you do me a favor and welcome all of the ones? So all of the 2s, I'd love for you to welcome all of the 1s. Let them know you are going to need something to write with, because I'm going to be dropping some just major information for you today. And I hope that it is transformational for you. So in my stories, I asked you, what did you want more information of or on, especially as it relates to what it looks like in this job market? And building a portfolio was the biggest request that I got. What goes into building a portfolio? And I like to call a portfolio the document where you are owning your dopeness. Okay? Dopeness in terms of all of the work that you've done, all of your framework, all of the things that make you uniquely who you are, so that you can stand out on the market. Okay. So when we thinking about building a portfolio, this might go over the heads of most people, but because you are on this live, it's not going to go over your head, because we're going to break it down. Okay. The thing that I want you to start to operate as is as an enterprise of one. Okay. So I want you to type that in the chat. I am an enterprise of one. And the reason that this becomes very important, especially as it relates to your job and your next move, whether you are happily employed, whether you got recently laid off, or whether you're looking to grow and scale in your career, I need you to think like an enterprise of one. I am an enterprise of one, because here's a truth that not too many people own, and that is you are uniquely qualified and capable to do amazing work. I'm going to say that again. You are uniquely qualified to do amazing work. But the challenge that I find with many individuals is that they don't know what are some of their unique aspects. What are the things that make them unique? And the second thing that I find, especially with my high achieving women, is that you go into autopilot. And so when you are at work, when you are doing amazing work, when it is time for you to teach someone else, you'll get people who say things like, man, you're so good at that. Or you make it look so easy. Or can you teach me how to do X, Y, and Z? If that has happened to you, I want you to drop a 3 in the chat. If you're the one that people are always coming to and they're like, can I pick your brain? You make this look so easy. Can you help me with X, Y, and Z? Can you help me do all of this? If that's been you, I want you to drop a 3 in the chat, because I want you to be able to see how you are already uniquely qualified to do great work. But the challenge is that you have not stopped to identify and assess what is the great work that I do. And I am here as your coach today to tell you that that is one of the tactics that keeps you stuck. If you are not aware, if you're constantly going, doing, moving, and you're not taking the time to stop and assess what is it that I do well, then this is why you find yourself in a season where you find stuckness, because you have put yourself on autopilot and you've not stopped to identify and assess what are the things about me that come so naturally and so easy to me that for other people it's a challenge. And I'm seeing 3s light up the chat. This is I want you to notice how many 3s are showing up on IG and are showing up across our platforms. The reason that this becomes such an important aspect for you to pay attention to is because if you are unaware of how good you are at what you do, then when you go to apply for a new opportunity, you know what we hear when we're having conversations with our clients? I don't know. I just do it. Well, what is it that you do? I don't know. I just get to work. Okay. What is your process? And so when we are thinking through creating a portfolio, there are 3 aspects to your portfolio that I need you to understand. Okay. And these are the 3 that have worked for me. It's likely going to be very different for you, but I want to give you something that will be easy to kind of get your creative juices flowing. And this is something that you can start doing right now. Okay, this is not something that you need to have somebody else come and check, or you need to get feedback from somebody else, or you want somebody else to because it is your career. Okay, so you need to understand what is your unique value add. Okay, you need to understand what is your unique value add. So for those of you who are note takers, because I know there's quite a few of you, I want you to type that in the chat. Your unique value add, also known as your UVA, okay? Your UVA. And so when you're building your portfolio, you need to know what is your unique value add. I'm gonna give you some examples of brands that you have encountered or have worked with, and you already know what a unique value add is, because I know for some of you, you're probably like, Susana, I have no idea what you're talking about. What is a unique value add, ma'am? A unique value add is a type of work or service that sets you apart from the rest of folks in the market or the rest of the folks in the workplace. Your unique value add, also known as your UVA, is what's going to help you to stand out from the rest of the people in the marketplace. Okay? So this is why I'm telling you, you got to own your dopeness. So let's do a quick example. If I say Nike, who do you think of? What comes to mind when I say the brand Nike? Nike. When I think of the brand Nike, or when you think of the brand Nike, what do you think of? Somebody said Michael Jordan. I know that's right. Just do it. Yep. What else do you think of? Shoes. I'm watching your responses come in. When I say the word Nike, I want you to type in the chat, what do you think of? So some of y'all said shoes. Some of y'all said Michael Jordan. Some of y'all said sneakers. Some of y'all said just do it. Some of y'all said sportswear. Exactly. Okay. Fashion and sports, excellent. All right, so you're understanding Nike's UVA is surrounding sports and athletes, and it covers sports and athletes in a variety of ways, from clothing to quality to footwear. Y'all got it? Somebody said the swoosh. I love it. Okay, so now I want you to think of another brand, completely different. We're going to do 3. The next one is going to be Toyota. When you think of Toyota, what do you think of? I'm teaching today. Okay. But I want you to understand the reason why you need to understand these concepts before you start to build a portfolio. So when you think of Toyota, somebody said cars. Okay. A car. When you think of the brand Toyota, there we go. Somebody said lifetime car. Absolutely. Durability. My first car. Absolutely. It's durable. One of the vehicles that has the highest resale value outside of Honda is Toyota because they last until you drive them into the ground. Okay. Somebody said good brand, long lasting, durability, reliable. I love it. Okay. So notice how you are quickly already identifying things that separate these brands from the rest of the marketplace. Okay. Durable cars with secondhand value that y'all got it. Okay. So whether you are an individual contributor at work, a leader like a supervisor or manager, or you are in the C-suite, each of you have a brand. So that when you are thinking through what is my portfolio, what do I want to be known for, what am I going to be putting on my resume, you need to know what is your unique value add. Okay, because if all of a sudden Toyota started to sell Big Macs, would you eat there? If all of a sudden Toyota said, you know what, we're gonna try this food thing and we're gonna start selling Big Macs, but instead of calling it Big Macs, we're gonna call it, I don't know, something wild. I don't know, the big RAV4. I don't know. If they decided that all of a sudden they were going to enter the food market, I'm pretty sure you would have some questions, right? The big T. I love it. Claudia, thank you for helping your girl out. So if Toyota decided that they were going to go into the food market and they were going to start selling, instead of the Big Mac, they were going to start selling the big T. Okay. We would have some questions. Like, hold on a minute, what kind of oil you using to cook this food? Because it should not be vehicle oil. Okay. Like, this ain't gonna work. If Chick-fil-A all of a sudden started selling cheeseburgers, you'd likely have some questions because Chick-fil-A is known for what? Come on. If you're familiar with the brand Chick-fil-A, what are they known for? They sell what? This is all related to being able to identify how to build your portfolio from a place of owning your dopeness. Okay. So when I think of Chick-fil-A, I think chicken. Like, that's what they know for. They got chicken in a variety of ways. They have grilled chicken. They have chicken nuggets. They got chicken tenders. They got chicken sandwiches with cheese, without cheese, with lettuce, without it, right? Eat more chicken. Their logo, for crying out loud, is a cow telling you to eat more chicken. Somebody said the Lord's food. I promise you, depending on which Chick-fil-A you're at, I really do believe that Jesus and the disciples are in the kitchen. But listen, that's neither here nor there. But what I want you to understand is that when you are building your UVA, you need to know what you want to be known for. So we've already identified 3 very different brands in 3 very different industries, but they're easily understood and recognized, right? So Nike, known for supporting athletes through their gear, their footwear, their clothing, even their marketing, down to that point, that is who they are speaking to. They stand out for that. Toyota, durability, reliability, a variety of ways that they provide that in their vehicles, from trucks to sedans to SUVs, right? Chick-fil-A is chicken, okay? In a variety of ways. So here is what I want you to understand. When you are building your portfolio, it should really be around 3 main concepts, with the overall arching umbrella being understanding what is your unique value add. Notice how Chick-fil-A is not selling cheeseburgers. And this is one of the things that I want to be very clear, because the marketplace, for many of us, especially if you are in the United States and you went to college and you did all the things, they told you that you needed to be good at a variety of things. Okay. I don't know why my internet is going in. Can y'all still hear me? Because I don't want you to miss this part. If you can still hear me and see me, can you drop a 4 in the chat? If you can still hear me and see me, can you drop a 4 in the chat? I want to make sure that you don't miss this because this next piece is going to be good. Okay. All right. Y'all can still hear me and see me. So if you went to school here in the United States, one of the things that they tell you is that you should be good at multiple things, right? You should have the ability to multitask. And I am of the school of thought that I would much rather you be really good at a niched item before you start adding on to it. Because what I find is that when you've gotten to this place where you're multitasking and you're doing 9 million things all at the same time, you don't complete a single one. And so instead of being able to see success going forward, you have an array of unfinished projects. And then you start to wonder why you feel all of this pressure to perform, pressure to get things done, pressure to complete your to-do list. Perhaps if we operated a little bit more like Chick-fil-A and Toyota and Nike and stayed within our UVA, instead of trying to do everything and everyone, like doing everything for everyone, perhaps we would see more headway in what we're trying to do. So when you are thinking through building your portfolio and you're trying to understand the concept of what is my unique value add, it should be practical, it should be relatable, and it should be accessible. Practical, relatable, and accessible. I'm going to say that again. Practical, relatable, and accessible. I promise you, if I ever write a book, I'm going to put these things in a book. So like that, you have it like in a manual. Because I'm giving you some really just like, it sounds real, like just basic, but these are some of the things that I wish somebody would have just broken down a little bit more for me when I was in college. Because in college, they gave me a lot of theory. They gave me a lot of books to read and papers to write and those kinds of things. But I need you to break it down practically. Because you know what I find? Then when you get into the workplace, you have no idea what to do. You're confronted with all the workplace drama and the office politics and all this other jazz, and nobody has broken down for you, how do I make this practical, relatable, and accessible? You want to know why this is important? Because your CEO and those people in the C-suite, that's what they're after. Practicality, accessibility, and relatability. If you engage with a CEO or anyone who has a C in their title, the first thing that you will start to identify is that they are moving quickly. And if it takes you too long to make your point or land your plane, they have moved on to the next thing. So when you are building a portfolio, whether again, you are gainfully employed, you are looking for a new opportunity, or you're trying to scale within your organization, I need you to make it practical, relatable, and accessible. What is the problem that you solve? Again, going back to the examples that we looked at in those 3 brands, Nike, Chick-fil-A, and Toyota. What is the problem that each of them solve? They've gotten real clear in what is the problem that they solve and who they solve it for. It's the reason why when we work with our clients, when we're optimizing their LinkedIn, we're not telling them to give me their name and their position, because positions will be different from organization to organization. But what we are trying to do is we're trying to identify and be very clear and strategic to who they are trying to attract. Okay? Because if you're not clear about who you are trying to attract, then you're going to be on LinkedIn and you're going to get everything except what you want to talk to or who you want to engage with. I promise you that right now, there are some of you who are watching me where your LinkedIn profile is probably non-existent, or it's giving more attention to the company that you work for than the individual who you are and the impact that you make. You want to know how I know that? Because I see it every day. By default, if you're not aware, by default, your LinkedIn profile will automatically go to, after like you have your name, it's automatically going to put your position in the company that you work for. That's just by default. So if you're not aware of what your UVA is, who you serve, why you are the solution to a problem, then on LinkedIn, which is the easiest place to start to build a portfolio, because it's already built out for you. You just got to put the information in the right places. Then it's automatically going to go to the company that you work for. Instead of telling me what is the problem or the unique value add that you bring to an organization. So when you are thinking about creating a portfolio, I want you to think in terms of, I am an enterprise of one. What is my unique value add, your UVA? And who am I speaking to? Now listen, there will be seasons where you won't be speaking to everybody, because some of y'all like, I need a job yesterday. So at this point, I want to talk to everyone. But not everyone is worthy of your time, talent, and attention. I'm going to say that again, because if you're listening slow and I'm speaking fast, I want to make sure you got it. Not everyone is worthy of your time, talent, and attention. So if you want to be able to stand out when you are creating your portfolio, remember, you want to understand, what is my unique value add? What are the things that come so easily to me that seem challenging to other people? Is this helping y'all? Because if this live is not helping y'all, then I will shut this whole thing down. If this is not helping you, I want to make sure that like we're on the same page. So if this is helping you, I want you to type "got it" or wave at me, do something. Let me know that you are here. Okay? Because these are the types of things, y'all, that I wish it would have been brought to me this way when I was going to school. But here's what I have learned since graduating, going into higher education, and then now working on the opposite side of the table, where I see women, especially women, day in and day out, who are incredibly talented, but you've been coached and you've been prepared for a position. You've been coached and prepared for and have found your identity in a title. I'm talking to somebody. You've been coached and prepared and found your identity in a title when you are so much more than that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to type in the chat, I am more than my job description. I am more than my title. I am more than my job description, or I am more than my title. Because when you stand 10 toes down understanding that truth, then you can be an administrative assistant today and still leverage those skills and be a chief of staff tomorrow. You can be a highly skilled paralegal today and then be a most sought after legal expert tomorrow. But if you have not understood how to build a portfolio that stands out by leveraging your UVA, which is your unique value add, then you will always find identity in the title or the type of work that you do. And my job as your online coach is to break that lie today, because you're more than that. And this especially goes for my people who have been recently laid off or find yourself in a place where you are not employed. I am going to come close to you right now, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say it. Just because you do not have a role right now does not mean that you are not hireable. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to look right at the camera. Just because you do not have a role right now does not mean that you are not hireable. Just because you do not have a role right now does not mean that you are not hireable. And the reason that I'm pausing there to make sure that y'all got it is because, again, we've been coached, prepared, and trained to identify under a title instead of identifying under the skill set that makes us unique. It's why I call it the unique value add. Because yes, everybody can use Microsoft Office. I see it on resumes day in and day out. Everybody knows how to leverage a social media platform. You know, y'all are watching me right now, so you obviously know how to use social media. And I love that, because I love it when y'all tell me when we get on a call, oh, I don't like social media. It's really not my thing. Like, I don't really use social media that much. And then in the same breath, some of y'all get on a call with me or with my team, and y'all like, I have pages of notes of the things that y'all have shared. And so, sis, make it make sense. Either you like social media or you don't. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have pages of notes. Okay? So just because you're not employed right now does not mean that you're not hireable. It also does not mean that you do not have a unique value add. In this season that you're living through, I'm going to challenge you to get really clear about what is your unique value add. What is your real unique value add? And if you've ever, if you're like, okay, Susana, I get the concept of a unique value add, but I'm not sure where to start. The easiest place to start, without having to ask anyone, I want you to take inventory and start asking yourself, what is it that people are always asking for my opinion on? What is it that people always want my help with? And then what are the things of the work that I've done that have brought me joy? Because I am from a school of thought that I don't believe that we were created just to work, to sleep, and then eventually retire and then die. Like, to me, that's just not the way that, I really don't think that that's what we were created with. Sincerely, I don't. So there has to be some type of joy in the work that you do. Hear me, okay? Because I also get people who are watching me and might be like, listen, I just need a paycheck. Okay, fair. Totally fine. But there has to be something more to that makes you want to show up. Because if you're always pursuing a paycheck, then you will find yourself lacking purpose. See, if I was always pursuing a paycheck, I wouldn't have walked away from my 6-figure fancy cushy job. Because in that season that I was in that role, it was part of my purpose. But I got very clear very quickly to know that there was no way on God's green earth that a paycheck was going to dictate and determine how I was going to live out my purpose. And so if you're always chasing a paycheck, you'll confuse your bank account with your identity. And then when that's at zero, you feel like you have no value. I know that that's not true. Okay? So if you're trying to identify what is my unique value add, ask yourself those 3 questions. What is it that folks are always coming to me for? What are the things that come naturally to me that are easy to me that seem to be a challenge to someone else? And thirdly, what are the aspects of the work that I do that bring me joy? In my previous life, every month I used to hold an event. Every month I used to hold an event for people who were trying to get to know the institution, get to know the staff, get to know the faculty every month. And the things that brought me joy about that is what you see me doing today. Teaching, connecting, speaking with other people. For some, speaking to strangers stresses you out. Giving a presentation, you're like, get somebody else to do it. For me, I enjoy it. I've been doing it since I was a little girl. It's something that I am comfortable with. But have me try to create or design some marketing graphic? Not my ministry. I was just telling my colleague this today. Not for me. Get somebody else to do it. Because me and Canva, oh baby, nah, no, thank you. Thank God I have people who are very well versed and capable in that. But if it was left up to Susana, oh baby, we'd be on the struggle bus. No, thank you. So can you see now the difference between like not the difference, but can you understand now the aspects that are needed for you to be able to build a solid portfolio that sets you apart from the rest of the noise? Okay. One of the things that I don't have time to break that down today, but one of the things that has helped me to grow in my career now as an entrepreneur is what you're seeing right now. My ability to be able to speak live and still have you engage with me. And some of y'all have never met me in person, but you're here. And so now when folks are looking for someone who can come and speak to their audience, someone who can engage with their audience, someone who's going to be lively and still be able to bring in information in a clear and concise manner, I've built a portfolio where you can come and see that for yourself. So I've made it easier to be found. The reason why I want you to make sure that you have a portfolio is because in that type of way, it helps you to set yourself apart from everyone else. Also, when you are able to build a portfolio based off of the things that I just shared with you today, it separates the real from the wannabe. Okay? Because there's like a lot of wannabes who just regurgitate the same information. Have you ever encountered those kind of people? Like they just say a whole lot of the same thing because they heard somebody else say it. Oh, but when you are a thought leader, not only do you know how to speak it with confidence, you have data to back it up. And that is where I want y'all to get. Okay? So this live was dope, y'all. I am going to leave this one up so that you can go back to it, so that you can save it. For some of you, it's going to take time for you to kind of listen to this again and really have a place for you to kind of unpack what I shared. For others of you, you're like, you know what? I know already what helps me to stand out. I know I can put some of these things down on paper. Write it out, okay? Don't just keep it in here. Write it out. Because I need you to be able to see it in black and white. Because then when it's time for you to write a resume, you know, the things that I tell you to do. But when you have it in black and white, it helps you to build your document from a place of confidence instead of a place of needing validation. Ooh! It helps you to build your documents. It helps you to build your portfolio. It helps you to build your brand from a place of confidence, standing 10 toes down on I know who I am, instead of needing someone to validate who you are. Oh, I feel like I'm coming for somebody's edges today. And if I'm not coming for your edges, I'm coming for mine. Because especially for my sisters, my melanated sisters, who right now it may feel like you existing is under attack for you just being who you are. When you are able to have these types of documents, to have this type of ownership over your career, baby, you move different. You do. You move different. And here's the other part that not too many people talk about. When you come from that place of knowing who you are, understanding your unique value add and how you stand out from everyone else, it is without a shadow of a doubt gonna make other people uncomfortable. Oh, it is without a shadow of a doubt gonna make other people uncomfortable. You know why? Because in certain workplaces and spaces, mediocre has been the norm and has been okay. And when you come in, understanding the truth of who you are, your unique value add, and who you speaking to, it's going to agitate the mediocre in other people. And then all of a sudden, they're going to feel real uncomfortable. And man, that is my prayer for y'all. For the hundreds of y'all that are watching me on social media right now, my prayer is that you would walk into places and spaces where mediocre has been okay, and people encounter you and they're like, there's something different about this one. This one, like, she moves different. Something about her is just, we can't play with this one. Damn right. Damn right. Because you have not gone through everything you have gone through to let somebody come and play in your face. Oh, and do I have a story for y'all about that? I can't tell you right now because we're already at the end of this live. But when you know who you are, listen, people will try to play in your face. But when you have gone through what I shared with y'all today, they won't play those games. Or you will quickly realize this is not the space for me. It's time for me to pivot. It's time for me to make moves. It's time for me to move in silence, but move with a strategy. So this was good. What was your biggest takeaway today? What was your biggest takeaway today? I knew this live was going to be good. I didn't realize how good it was going to be. Because I feel like, oh man, oh my God, today. So tell me, what was your biggest takeaway from this live today? Help your girl out. Somebody said the meaning of a UVA. Somebody said, I love that you actually love us, baby, without a shadow of a doubt. Understanding my UVA, having a unique value. Yep. Somebody said it's all right not to vibe with Canva. Amen to that. Okay, because I be on the struggle bus. Realizing that I am so much more than my job description. I know that's right. Somebody said yes. Practicality, relatability, and accessibility. Absolutely. That's what PRA stands for. I love it. So listen. Yes, your current title does not define who you are or where you are going. I know that's right. Ooh, I know that's right. Yes, understanding the value of the UVA. I love it. So here's what I want you to do. If this was helpful for you today and you feel like you got a lot of value, would you share this live with someone else? Okay. Would you share this live with someone else? Listen, before I keep going, one of my favorites just joined this live, or I just noticed that she is here, and it is, where you at, my love? Recruiter cousin. She just commented, be the giant that I am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. If y'all don't follow her, you should. It's Recruiter Cousin on IG. Another incredible, brilliant voice that you really should be paying attention to. Hi, honey. Hi, my love. So I need y'all to pay attention to that, okay? Surround yourself. Pay attention who you're leasing your ear to. The reason I come live so often is because there's a lot of noise on these internet streets about what you should and should not do and who you should and should not listen to. You know what's one of my big pet peeves? These people who want to make you believe that they've done certain things by showing you their fake bank accounts, but they broken, and then wondering why you not giving them your money. Because when you understand who you are, you don't entertain that kind of mess. Okay? You don't. So this is why I tell you, by owning your UVA, I own my UVA. I know where my limits are. I know where I excel. So when you encounter Susana-Alba, whether you encounter her online or you encounter her in person, it's the same individual. There's no fluff. And I used to run away from it, y'all. It used to bother me when people would be like, you're so real. Or in corporate spaces, you're rough around the edges. You said that with your chest. In other words, what you were expecting me to do is be more palatable for you. Got it. Hard no. Hard no. So this is why having a UVA is so important. This is also why I want you to build your portfolio from a place of confidence, understanding who you are. So like that, you don't need validation from anybody else. And if you need permission, consider this me giving you permission. Go be great. If you're a part of this tribe, we don't do mediocre. We move with excellence. We move in silence, but we move with a strategy. Okay? So I love y'all. I love y'all. I hope that this was helpful to you. Share this live. Share this live with someone who is in need of a little bit of encouragement and support when it comes to being able to own their dopeness. Okay? There's no need for you to struggle in silence. Oh, absolutely, my love. This live will be saved. You will absolutely have it. You'll have it in a couple of places. You'll have it on IG for sure. You can catch me on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. It'll be saved in all of those places. Because again, we're trying to be visible. So how I look teaching you about visibility and I ain't doing it. Come on, like what? What? That don't make no sense. Okay? So go be great. Start working on your UVA. Again, regardless of where you're at, whether you're gainfully employed, you're looking to scale, or you are unemployed, start identifying what is your UVA. Stand 10 toes down on that. And I cannot wait to catch y'all on the next one, okay? I love y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Yes, I am on YouTube. Same name, Susana Briscoe-Alba. Y'all go be great. Share this with somebody who needs some encouragement. Mwah, 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 mwah. Virtual hugs from afar, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody. Love y'all to the moon and back.